Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries for the continuation of Inkmas Day 13. Like I mentioned in 𝗏𝗏 just a few minutes ago, today is Friday the 13th, at least here in the US where I am, Central Standard Time, and so door 13 has fallen on Friday the 13th. Did not get a Friday the I did not get a Friday the 13th worthy ink from 𝗏𝗏. So I'm kind of wondering if Colorverse is going to fill that, thing. Like I'm hoping this is going to be a dark ink. That's all I really want. It's just a dark ink now because 𝗦𝘃𝗍𝗍 was not very dark. Anyways, okay, let's see what we got. Oh, yes. Okay, I realized that it's not black, which would have been the ultimate color for Friday the 13th, but it looks at least like it's a dark ink. And it also looks like it might be a bit purple. On camera, the sticker's coming off pretty blue, but in person, it looks almost like a purple black, which if that's what it's going to be, I'm going to be so freaking happy. Anyways, today's ink is called Neptune, Occultation. I don't know what that means, but Neptune Occultation is a color inspired by the phenomenon of Neptune being occulted by other celestial bodies. Let me look up what occulted means really quick. Okay, so according to Google, occulted or occultation is basically when something passes, and passes in front of something else. So essentially, my guess is like an asteroid or a moon or something would eclipse Neptune, and that's what that means. At least to me. Anyways, it's another standard, and the ink inside of this looks very, very dark, and it also looks like it's sticking to the edges of the bottle, which to me makes me think we might have a sheener right here. But let's go ahead and swatch it out and see what we actually got. Okay, so this is definitely a dark ink. It's also very purple in person. It's like a dark violet, and then on screen, at least in my viewfinder, it looks very blue. I definitely think this is going to sheen. I don't know what color though. I can't really tell as it's drying. So we'll see, I guess, in a minute once it completely dries. But this is gorgeous. I'm really happy with this color. It does look very similar to 𝗬𝗏𝗏 from the beginning of the Colorvent, but this one is definitely more purple. And I think the sheen is going to be a different color. If it's got a black sheen, I'm going to be really happy. Yeah. I'm also really glad we have another new color family. I consider this to be like full on purple. I know on camera it does not look purple, and I really wish I could figure out a way to make my camera to pick up purple tones better, but I haven't figured that out yet. But it is definitely a purple ink, even though it's showing up blue on screen for you guys. Really nice, very, very dark. I think this would be a great everyday writer, honestly, and I'm really happy with this color. I feel like the last 3 days, including today, have sort of started to shift my views on this Colorvent. So I'm hoping that trend continues, but let me go ahead and compare this to some other swatches I have, other inks in my collection, and I'll see if I have anything kind of similar, even though I don't know if I really want to do this as a blue or a purple, but I'm probably going to compare it to both. Okay, so I'm going to compare this to blue blacks, blue and purple, just because this ink is so dark. I think it could pass for blue black, if like a purple leaning blue black, but it's really pretty. Also, as it's drying, the sheen is definitely turning more towards a like reddish black color. I don't know if you guys can see. It's still wet here in the middle, so just ignore that. But like this over here is kind of sheeny with like the reddish black color. It's really pretty. I'm really happy with this one, but let's compare. So I really think this is a purple for me personally. It looks purple, so I'm not super like set on anything being matching in the blue, but I just want to see for my own purposes if there really is anything kind of close to this. It's kind of close to Octos Fluid's 𝗬𝗫𝘃. It has a very similar reddish black sheen, but the Neptune over here is definitely more purple than the 𝗬𝗫𝘃. But they're pretty similar in like the deepness, the darkness of the color. Yeah, that's it for blue blacks. All right, now into blues. So this is Ackerman's Shocking Blue. I don't know if I could really say they're similar. Neptune's is definitely still much purple, but again, it has that similar kind of reddish black sheen. Okay, we may have a winner on this page. Maybe, kind of, yes, I don't know. It's kind of close to Diamine's Oxford Blue, which is a gorgeous standard dark blue. Oxford Blue is much more blue in person, and the Neptune is much more purple. So that's really the only comparison, but they're both like a similar darkness in color. I really don't think I found anything that's like super on point for it being like the same. Okay, it's kind of close to 𝗂𝗡𝘁's number 14, Maya Lapis Lazuli. The Lapis Lazuli, okay, 𝗂𝗡𝘁's number 14 is definitely a bit more blue, and it is also a bit lighter. It doesn't have the same level of saturation. Okay. It's actually very close to Sailor Ink Studios 743, but the 743 has a red and a green sheen with it and is still a bit more blue than the Neptune. But I think that's the closest one so far because they're both a deeper saturated color. Okay, it's actually very similar to Sailor Shikiori's, I think it's 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝘁𝗵𝘁. My pronunciation is still, under educational purposes right now, so just ignore my Japanese. But they're very close in that they're both a bit more of a purple, except the Shikiori ink is a bit lighter. It's not as dark or saturated. It is, however, just the same saturation as Troublemaker's Lan-Eng, but Lan-Eng has a yellow sheen, whereas I feel like this Neptune one has a black reddish sheen. I really like the sheen on this color. Okay, sorry. I keep getting distracted by it every time I move the card. Okay, that's it for blues. Let me get my purples really quick and we shall compare. Okay, so here we have the purples. I don't know how many matches I'm actually going to have because this sheen is just taking over, but we probably got something. Okay, it's very, very, very close, like almost exact close to Van Diemen's Mandarin Duck Breast. These two inks could be the same ink, at least in front of me. I don't know if the camera is going to pick up the color correctly, but these two are very, very close. It's also very close to the saturation, like the darkness of Ferris Press's Tanzanite Sky, but the sheen is different, and Tanzanite Sky has a lot more like black shading to it to me, like a very dark purple black shading. It's kind of similar to Lami's Azurite, but Azurite has that wild green sheen, so not really. It's kind of, no, Neptune is still too vibrant for those two. I was going to say these two Sailor inks up here, but I think they're too gray toned for true comparison. It's kind of close to Waringel's Frankenstein, but Frankenstein has like this cool, awesome, I love Waringel inks right now, I'm sorry. Waringel, if you watch this video, please make an inkvent. I will totally buy it. Okay. Frankenstein has this green shimmer with a kind of reddish black sheen that's really minor. It's very close to the base of Ferris Press's Auroralis. Auroralis is still a bit more, I'd say, washed out looking. It's dark, but it has a bit more of maybe a brownness to it. But with the shimmer, I feel like these two are kind of similar. Yeah, I think the closest, honestly, spot-on ink that I have is the Van Diemen's Mandarin Duck Breast. That is probably the closest dupe you are going to find for this one. The sheens are almost exactly the same, and the base color is almost exactly the same as well. Very, very, very close, like very close. So yeah, if this one doesn't make it to the full bottles, now you have that. Let me go ahead and show you guys the swatch. I think I forgot to do this on the diamine, but it's fine. The sheen is definitely prevalent there in the center. You can see it's kind of like that black reddish thing going on. And the lovely deep purple of this is just gorgeous. I know it looks blue on screen. I'm so sorry, but it is purple. I promise it's purple. All of these are purple, okay? And like they show up blue. I don't know why, but yeah. I'm happy with this one for sure. Let me do a writing sample and let's see what this looks like in a full page. Okay, I'm actually really happy with this one. So here is my writing sample. It is very legible. It is a great dark ink. I did a test similar to how I did Diamine's Lullaby today, where I used the smaller end and then the fatter end to see the difference in the inks. Surprisingly, it's so much darker with the skinnier like nib versus the broad Fude like flat stubby side. I'm a bit surprised because usually like up here I would get the dark with the stubby and not this time. I like it. I do think the sheen on writing does not show up. It's not as prevalent. It's primarily that dark purpley blue color. It's beautiful. I like this one a lot. I think it's appropriate for Friday the 13th. Just because it has that really cool black shading in it. But it's another standard ink overall. I mean, I'm not overjoyed with this one. It's not my favorite. I think between the two I would vote for right now, I'd probably still go with Rover or 𝗦𝘃𝗃𝐼's Glow, just because those two were so nice. And I feel like this type of ink, you know, the darker with the sheen is so done, like it's everywhere. Even though this particular color was pretty hard for me to find a match for, I think it's still another, you know, great standard 𝗦𝘃𝗃𝐼 ink. So yeah, I'm happy with it in that it's a new color family. It's in the purples. It's a black sheener or black red sheener if you want to get specific. Yeah, I like it. It has good flow and it's a dark legible ink. It's a great everyday writer color kind of situation. Yeah, what do you guys think about this one? I know Colorverse has been a bit boring lately, but I think for today I would actually pick Colorverse's ink over Diamine's, which, you know, I feel like is saying something considering its history. Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying your Friday. Happy Friday the 13th. If you're celebrating getting a tattoo or anything, y'all have fun with that. Yeah, enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 14. I'm hoping we're going to continue this trend with Colorverse and keep up with the better inks. Ooh, actually, I just thought of this before I turn the camera off. Let me pull out the 𝗬𝗏 swatch so we can see how similar, dissimilar they are. Okay, so here's 𝗬𝗏. Oh, man. Okay, here's 𝗬𝗏 right here on the Virgo card. And here is Neptune's Occultation on the Aries card. They are really similar on the card. That's kind of disappointing. It's all right. I think in writing they look different for me. I feel like 𝗬𝗏 is very blue and Neptune is still very dark. Like but it's darker. It is darker. So they're close, but not the same. But in terms of maybe colors we've already seen in the Colorvent, yeah, I'd say we've seen this color already, Colorverse. Oh man, maybe I shouldn't have compared them. I'm kind of kicking myself for that now. Anyways, bye. Y'all have a good day. See you tomorrow.